Welcome back to the Green Screen, and pleased to have Sarah Brown with the Gre Alliance here this rainy spring day. Thanks for coming in, Sarah.
Thanks for having me.
What is the Gre Alliance?
Wow, that's a good question.
Yeah.
So the Gre Alliance is a very unique organization. We're a bit of a hybrid. We operate much like a nonprofit, but we're actually a business, exactly like the businesses that we help. What we do is we connect green-minded consumers with the green business leaders who are concerned with their footprint and who are looking to reduce that footprint. And we make sure that those businesses really, what we do is pull them out of the crowd, identify a green business leader, and this goes across the industry spectrum, pull them out of the crowd, put them up on a pedestal, shine the spotlight on them, tell their story, explain in a very easily understandable way for the public what makes this business green, why it's important, how it applies to that particular industry. And really what we want to do is we want these green business leaders to be rewarded because they deserve to be rewarded. And we also know that the consumer needs help making these better choices. You know, we all have such busy lives. So where can we get all the information that we need to make a better choice when we're choosing a doctor, when we're choosing a plowing company, when we're choosing a restaurant that we want to eat at? And that's really the fundamental goal of the Gre Alliance, is to engage the consumers and to really drive these green business leaders to go even further, to let them reap the benefits of their green products and practices, and to realize that they can go even further and the consumer will reward them.
And where's your office, and what area do you serve?
Well, we started in the Seacoast area of New Hampshire, but we have grown really quickly. We now cover all of New Hampshire, much of southern Maine, and actually also into Massachusetts. So we go up into Newburyport and into that region of Mass. And one of the things is, I mean, you know, we would like someday for there to be a Gre Alliance all over. Gre Alliances all over the country. We know, though, that part of a big piece of sustainability is also local. And, you know, so why do people care about the businesses that we represent? They care because they're in their own communities. They care because they've seen the builder's truck go by. They've passed the bakery. And now they find out, all right, wow, this bakery is composting 100% of their food waste. You know, so this is the full engagement of sustainability that goes beyond just energy use. Really,
and it's the story. It's the story of these businesses that seems to be one of the things that you do very well. Is you've got some great writers that work with you, and you put these terrific stories out there. You put them in the media. You place articles about these really cool things that are happening. And it seems to me you really capture the story. I mean, the story of the Gre Alliance and how that story relates to our story, the story of Now or Never Media, the story of a composter, for example. Is that a conscious thing? Is that primary to what you do? Or how does that, telling the story of these many businesses, how does that fit in?
Well, that's what resonates with people. I mean, you know, we all want to hear about something that means something to us. And it has to be put in terms that we all can relate to. And I think that's what needs to happen in the green space. There's so much information out there now. So how can we distill these things down for the average consumer to understand why they should choose, for instance, a printer that is more sustainable? You know, what does it mean to have your business cards printed up on FSC certified paper? What are the inks that printing companies are using when you have promotional material printed up? You know, what goes into the production of a t-shirt? Even if you're just ordering t-shirts maybe for a wedding party. You know, we should know that. You know, we all work very hard for our money. So shouldn't we know the details behind these goods and services that we're spending our hard-earned money with? And that's really what it comes back to, is that, you know, really, and we need to be more responsible consumers. The Gre Alliance makes that easier by telling stories so that somebody can understand what it means to do business with a local t-shirt company that's printing on organic cotton and is using sustainably printing methods on that. So this is what it all comes back to, is really providing that information, and that is best done through telling stories.
Great, and you can see a lot of those. Check out the grealliance.biz, your website. People can look to there to see the many different kinds of businesses and specific businesses that are members of the Gre Alliance. And actually, let's take a look at a clip that we created. You called me up and said, "Oh, we got a cruise. You got to come out. This will be really fun." Last summer, and let's record it too. So we went out and had a nice time ourselves and shot that and presented this fun that these business partners as well as consumers had on going out in the Isles of Shoals steamship, and it was a fun time.
You know, we're not all just about serious environmentalism. We like to have a good time too.
Check this out.
Cool.
I just want you to see. This is
Oh, that's the original?
This is like the original card when the Gre Alliance was just a tiny little baby.
Gre Alliance #1.
Gre Alliance #1.
I've known Sarah since she was like a little girl.
Really?
And Sarah's like the best, and she's awesome.
What is the Gre Alliance? Oh man, you're asking me to repeat the spiel that I've given 10,000 times. I can't remember. Our job depends on a beautiful environment. The main impetus for us joining was appreciating what we have here and trying to take care of it.
It was such a cool day, and it was a beautiful day too.
These green-minded business leaders coming together and learning from each other, also having fun, being friends, strategizing, doing business together. I mean, you know, none of these business people should have to reinvent the wheel, right? So that if you've got one restaurant that has already investigated and looked into to-go containers that are more sustainable, that the next restaurant doesn't need to go back and do the same things. They can ask that business owner, hey, what works for you? What are the best priced items? They can learn from each other, and they can also build a friendship. And that comes back to this fun piece. And also, again, everybody, if it's all serious all the time, I mean, you know, who wants to play? Also for the consumers to be a part of it, like for instance on the Gre Alliance cruise, this is that melding, that fundamental mix of the businesses with the consumers. And the consumers, not only do they want to do the right thing and make better purchases and reward these businesses who are doing the right thing in their own communities, but they also want to get to know them. I mean, this is all about making friendships, having conversations, learning from each other. So even for instance, if you're not ready to do a green renovation in your home, it's still incredibly interesting to be able to speak with the green builder on, for instance, on the Gre Alliance cruise and find out, you know, what does that look like? Oh, you know, and then you find out your neighbor did something with this person. So it's all about building community and building connections and having fun at the same time.
Yeah, and another thing that comes to mind is resilient networks and networks. I mean, specifically, you've got a really good website and a good way for people to find out information about these, but also that the business partner meetings, and that also consumers are often invited to. All part of a network of folks who have, you know, not an identical mindset, but a similar mindset and and some similar objectives.
Well, that's what we want to do here. We want to make it easy for people. We want to make it easy for businesses, and we want to make it easy for consumers, so that when you have a need for something, right, and you also start to get interested and educated, okay, you want to make a better choice, instead of just picking up the phone book, or of course, I don't know who uses the phone book nowadays, maybe you look online, you poke around, but you're still not able to make an educated decision because you don't have all the information. That's what one of the things we wanted to create in the Gre Alliance was sort of a one-stop shopping place. You can hit the Gre Alliance site, and that's www.greenalliance.biz, and you can find out everything you wanted to know, even if you're not going to use the Gre Alliance hairdresser. That's okay. I mean, yes, we would like you to use the Gre Alliance hairdresser, but even if you don't, learn from that Gre Alliance hairdresser. Find out, what is that salon doing to be greener? Take that information back to the salon that you use. Let those people know that you care and you want to see them doing business differently. So it's the having of all this information together in one central place, and so that businesses and consumers can learn from each other, and we can really start to make this movement have some legs, because it all comes down to the information and education. So one of the things that I've seen that's happening now with the growth in the Gre Alliance that's really exciting is we are really branching out into all industries, and that's part of what we're about as well. Is, people, I think we still have people out there who think green and they think just energy, so they think of the standard bearers, like the guys who are selling solar panels or the geothermal company, and those people are great, and we have them in the Gre Alliance, and we educate around their products and what they're doing within their businesses. But what's really interesting are these everyday businesses that you wouldn't think of. The bank. How about the place that you're banking with? Have they looked at their footprint? How about the hospital that you might go to when, you break your leg, God forbid? I mean, every single industry has a seat at the table and has a responsibility to lessen their impact. And that's what we really love about the Gre Alliance system, is that this is not designed for one particular kind of business. This is designed for any kind of business. We recently had our first bank join the Gre Alliance. We had our first hospital join the Gre Alliance. The hospital thing is very interesting because I think we all know that hospitals are such huge institutions, and they are notorious for their waste. And it's really interesting to be we work with a local hospital here called Frisbee Memorial Hospital in Rochester, and they have joined an organization called the Green Operating Room, where they have looked at reducing the waste in the operating room, which is a very challenging prospect because you're talking about hazardous waste that has to be treated in a certain way, and also certain things within an industry like the hospital industry, like the way that hospital materials will come packaged. So it's only through businesses themselves starting to engage and ask these questions, so that you have a hospital like Frisbee Memorial getting in touch with their supplier of, maybe it's catheters or who knows what it is, and saying, gee, does it really need to come wrapped in 4 different boxes? It seems like we're just starting out, and they might seem like small steps, but it can really make a difference when you have industry asking these questions. And that's where I see this marriage between industry and consumer really being the way forward for the green movement.
You've mentioned consumers, you've mentioned businesses, and we did a spot for you which mentions the green card and how consumers can get the green card. Why should a consumer get the green card? Why should a consumer, for $35 become a member of the Gre Alliance? Yeah,
so this is actually always, it's something that we revisit all the time and we think about. I mean, we want as many people as possible to be part of our club. But we also know, and here's where the business thing comes in, is we also know that people don't necessarily appreciate something that they get for free. And so, while we've toyed around the idea of sort of letting everybody be a member in the Gre Alliance, I just don't think that we will be as strong and have as much power. So we have decided that, we can have individual members in the Gre Alliance as well. And yes, they do need to pay a nominal fee to join the Gre Alliance. They get a little card. It's called the Green Card. And that Green Card gets the bearer discounts at every single one of our partnering businesses. And again, this goes back to really making sure that we're hitting everybody. Yes, a lot of people really care about green and they're going to buy green no matter what. Others care about discounts, you know, and I frankly don't care why they come to the table. But if somebody joins the Gre Alliance because they want to get a special discount at one of our restaurants or a discount with our dentist, great, you know, let them come to the table because they want the discount. Now we have them engaged. Now we can start educating and advocating. So although I know that there are definitely schools of thought out there that sort of, you know, poo-poo on discounting, I believe that discounting is really important because, again, it attracts people that we might not otherwise get to our ranks. And the fact of the matter is, you know, things are tough. We're in a tough economy. People are looking to save money. If we can't only make the argument that people should make these purchases just based upon the green aspect, let's also throw in what I call the icing on the cake, and let's throw in a discount as well to seal the deal.
How many businesses and consumers do you have involved?
So right now we have, it's exciting. We've been going now for about 2.5 years, and we have 95 businesses in the Gre Alliance. And again, they go across the industry spectrum from, you know, banks to we've got a car dealership, we've got a dentist, we've got restaurants. Obviously, we have all the regular sort of green players like the solar providers and whatnot. But it's just exciting to see that many businesses. I mean, we're going to be at 100 businesses in the Gre Alliance soon. And now, of course, the real strength of the Gre Alliance is the consumer members. And we have about 2,300 members right now in the Gre Alliance.
How do you certify or measure relative success in business practices?
So that's a really important aspect of the Gre Alliance program, and that is that we put every single business that is in our network, that is in the Gre Alliance, we put them through the Gre Alliance Sustainability Certification Program. This is a 3-step program that we've designed. It's very narrative-based, which is a little different than, I know there are consultants out there that will do energy audits or that will look at, you know, a very particular type of industry and the greenness, for instance, of, you know, a building product or a consumer product. But we created a system that would allow us to analyze a business's green products and practices and go beyond just how a company is using energy and go beyond just that product. I mean, we look at both of those things because they're both equally important. Not only should a business be considering the environmental impact of the product itself that they're selling, but they also should be looking at the way that they're conducting business. And those are the two sectors that we look at, which is, and we call them product and practice. And the most important part of this analysis is the fact that it's transparent. Because again, it comes back to making sure that the consumer has the information that they need to make better choices. And again, like I said, you know, sure, we would love you to do business with our business partners. That's really what we're striving for. But if you're not going to do business with our business partners, learn from the sustainability information of each of the businesses that we work with and apply that information to the businesses that you are spending your money with.
This is our green card, our membership in the Gre Alliance. It allows us to buy green, buy local, and save lots of money.
My mom likes the discount and I like the cake.